Hey there, I'm Kristen with Into Light Healing and Bodywork. This session of yoga was created for people who are new to yoga and aren't really sure about if they're doing it right. I created this practice in order to guide you step by step along the way and give you lots and lots of cues so that you can check yourself and make sure that you are doing it that's just right for you. If you're ready, let's get started. Let's begin laying on our backs. So, one of the most important things of yoga is the attention to your breath. So, we're going to bring some awareness to our breathing and to our bodies and just kind of get a sense, get acquainted um, with what's going on in there. So, if you want to bring your hands to your belly, try to take a nice deep breath in and just notice where the air goes. So, for me, I noticed that first the air went to my lungs and then into my belly. And then when I let it all out, it left my belly and then it left my lungs. So just notice what's true for your body. And then let's encourage some breathing, some air to go into the belly. So as if we have a balloon in the belly. And when you breathe in, you're trying to inflate the balloon. And then when you breathe out, slightly engage your abdominal muscles to squeeze the air out. This little trick helps to encourage your abdominals to work for you so that it can help hold you up when you're standing, etc. So let's just take a few breaths here, practicing breathing in, filling up that balloon in the belly, and breathing out, gently engaging the abdominal muscles. And know that you cannot breathe wrong. So, um, in whatever way that you find yourself breathing, know that it's okay. The next way we're going to get our abdominals engaging a little bit more is by using this little pose called yoga roll. So, excuse me, baby roll. So we're going to stick one hand up in the air and then the other hand. So we're going to do a right hand up in the air, left hand overhead and on the floor behind your, or like above your head. And we're going to try to use just the abdominal muscles to get your body to roll onto the side. So when I breathe out here, I've got a nice tight abdominal contraction, kind of like emphasize of what we were just doing before, like stronger than what we were just doing before. So tight belly. I'm going to bring my head up. My chin's going to come towards my chest, and then I'm going to turn towards my left armpit. And I'm going to use my top hand and reach for the sky and roll from the top onto my left side. And then I'm going to breathe in here. And then breathing out, I'm going to roll back onto my back. And then let's switch hands. So right hand is going to go on the floor overhead. And then the left hand is going to go in front of my face towards the ceiling. Inhale here. Exhale. Tuck your chin. Lift your head. Bring your head towards your right armpit. Left arm reaches towards the right side of your yoga mat. And you roll onto right side. Breathe in here. And then breathe out. We're going to lower back down. So the idea here, and let's keep going with our breath. The idea here is to use the abdominal muscles only. We're trying to not use the muscles of the legs, and that will recruit more abdominal muscles. Let's do one more on each side. I know these are hard. try to keep the legs relaxed, but if that's not available to you and you can't make it onto your side, it's okay to use your legs. Good. Okay, so from here, we're going to transition onto on hands and knees. So when you're on your hands and your knees, for any position or any posture that you're in that position, you want to think about keeping your knees stacked right underneath your hip on both sides, as well as your wrists stacked right underneath your shoulders, or even a little bit in front is okay. It depends on your wrist a little bit. As long as you don't have pain, try to go for right underneath. Okay, so for this next posture, it's called cat-cow. And what we do for this one is try to just create some motion through the spine. So when you breathe out, you're going to tuck your tailbone down towards the floor and keep your hands down. I'm just trying to emphasize here. So tuck your tailbone down towards the floor, and that creates a curve through the low back. And you want to keep that curve going by using your abdominal muscles to push your back up towards the ceiling. And then let your head relax here. And then we want to do the opposite motion. So we're going to start with the tailbone. We're going to stick that out towards the toes. And that's going to create an arching through the low back. And then keep that arching going as you lift your chest, shine it forward, and lift your head to look straight in front of you. So ideally with this one, we're going to be flowing with our breath. So breathing out, tuck the tailbone, lift the back towards the ceiling, abdominals are engaged, and then when you breathe in, stick that tailbone back, arch your back, and shine your chest forward, head up. So exhaling, curving. This one's cat, like a scared cat. You know how they get their fur raises up on their backs when they're scared. And then this one with the inhale is cow, like the posture of a cow. Exhaling. And inhaling. With this, you always want to make sure that you're staying in a range of motion that is comfortable and it does not cause any like pinching or painful sensations. Great. Okay, so next we're going to come up into a downward facing dog. So that pretty much means you lift your knees off of the yoga mat and point your buns towards the ceiling. While you're in this downward facing dog pose, you want to press your hands into the floor, and that creates a little bit more length through this armpit chest area, and keeps your shoulder joint safe. So we're pressing with our hands, we're pressing away from our bodies. Your chin and your neck should be relaxed. And it doesn't matter if your heels don't touch the floor. I know a lot of people look for that, but it really doesn't matter. I've been doing yoga for over 15 years, 20 years or something like that. And my heels still don't touch the floor, and that's okay. So don't worry about that, but do try to keep your knees a little bit bent. So you don't want them like super straight. A little bend is good. And here too, you can even bend a little bit more on one side and then bring it back, bend the other one a little bit more, bring it back. You just don't necessarily want to lock out the knees. From here, we're going to take little baby steps all the way up to the front of the mat. And you can lift up a little bit here from your hands. And then the next thing we're going to do is flow through something called a forward fold, which is where we are now, and then all the way up into a mountain. So when we next breathe in, let's bring our arms out to the sides. Keep our bellies tight as we keep a straight back and come all the way up, hands together above your head. And then bring your hands down to heart center. And then let's let our hands go all the way down. So let me show you a little bit about mountain pose. When we're in mountain pose, we want to keep our toes together, big toes touching. And think about putting your weight evenly between 3 points in your feet. So the ball of the big toe, the ball of the baby toe, and the heel. So you've got those 3 points on each foot, and they're evenly distributing your weight so that you are able to stand without like really leaning. So we're thinking about rooting down through those points and lengthening up through the spine. And when we're lengthening up through the spine, something else you want to think about is where you're keeping your head. So we don't work at our best when we're forward like this, which is what a lot of our lives are these days. So yoga is a great tool to use to keep elongating and getting out of that positioning. So we want to remember to bring our chins back. We just slide the chin back over the shoulders, kind of like you're closing a drawer, you just kind of slide that chin back. And then shoulder blades roll down the back like so. Okay, so we're going to go through a little flow here. And let's bring our arms out to the side and up with an inhale. And then an exhale, we're going to fold forward. Just kind of hinge from your hips and let your upper body fall down. And then let's inhale here and place our hands either on our shins or our thighs and have a nice long spine here. So we're trying to create length going this way through the spine. And then exhale, fold down. Inhale, let's bring arms out to the side and up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do another one of those. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Tight tummy, remember that. And exhale, forward fold. Relax the back. Inhale, arms out to the side and up. And then hands to heart center. Okay, so from here, we're going to come into some other more common yoga poses you've probably seen before. So we're going to step the left foot back, a pretty wide stance. When you place your foot, you want to keep it in the arch of the foot in line with the heel of the front foot. So, so it's kind of like you're on a tightrope, but you have a little bit more balance because of the back foot's at an angle. We're going to do warrior one pose. So that means our pelvis is going to be square with the front of the mat. So pelvis and then front of the mat is going this way. So we want to just kind of work on pulling the right sit bone back towards the left upper thigh. And we're going to take a bend through that right knee. The left knee stays straight if that's comfortable for you, but if that is not available to you, please feel free to lift your heel and bend the knee a little bit. So right knee is above right ankle, pelvis is right sit bone is reaching towards left thigh, and then we're going to bring our hands to our armpits, kind of tuck your thumbs in there, and then let go of the thumbs and reach straight up towards the ceiling. You do want to have your abdominal muscles engaged while we are here. This is warrior one. And as always, try to pay attention to your breath too. Awesome. See how you feel. See if you can make minor adjustments that make you more stable or get a stretch in just the right spot. And then with an exhale, let's turn our torsos. We're going to open out to the left side of the yoga mat. And I need to lengthen my stance a little bit more for it to be comfortable. And if you need to do that, feel free, but don't feel like you have to. So now our pelvis is in line with the long edge of the yoga mat. And our right knee is still over top of the right ankle. And the left knee is still straight. The left foot is pointing out. I would say it's probably like 30 degrees in, I guess, from a neutral forward position. So another thing that's important to remember is keeping your chest, your torso over top of your pelvis. A lot of people have a tendency to kind of get into one of these kind of curvy postures. Just kind of remind yourself to keep your chest over top of your pelvis and keep opening out through that hip. So your right knee is going to be kind of pushing back towards the small toe side of your foot. And we're going to have our arms palms up. We'll do goalpost arms first, and then let's straighten the elbows. And then we're going to turn just the palms down. And then we're going to keep our heads back as we turn and look over top of the right middle finger. Now, with all of those cues in mind, see if you can check your posture, check your positioning. Are you there? What do you need to tweak? What do you need to tuck? What do you need to lengthen? Remember that this is always a work in progress, and there's always things that we need to do to tweak in order to feel good in a posture, and that's absolutely fine. Especially when we're beginning, it's new, it's fun and exciting, and it takes some work. But as long as you're listening to your body, it's not wrong. Okay, so from here, let's bring left hand up in the air, and then we're going to bring right hand down, both hands going down towards the floor, turning your torso, plant your hands on either side of the foot. We're going to lift the right foot off of the mat, bring it back to the left into a downward facing dog. And then we're going to shift our weight forward. Torso comes so that your shoulders are over top of your wrists. And then plant your knees down here. And we're going to bend the elbows so they're going to bend back alongside the body as we lower down onto our bellies. Then inhale here. Use these muscles of your low back to lift up. And then we're going to exhale, press up onto hands and knees, and then all the way up into a downward dog. You didn't quite make it with me, that's okay, just catch up here. And then we're going to inhale. We're going to pick the left foot up off of the yoga mat, and we're going to bring it forward and place it in between our hands. We're going to step the right foot, going to plant the heel down, and remember we want to have that tightrope line so your left heel is in line with the right arch. And then from here, we're going to bring our hands forward and up, and let's see if we can keep a bend in that left knee. So from here, in this pose, I go through my checks. So is my pelvis in line with the short edge of my yoga mat? Not really. I need to step my foot up a little bit in order to keep that straight edge, because that's how my body is, and that's okay. So what else do I need to do? I need to pull my chest up and my head back, and then I can reposition my arms, and then I can just be in this pose. Tight tummy, always thinking about that. And then we're going to open out into Warrior Two with the left foot in front. So I'm going to step my right foot back a little bit and open out my pelvis to face the right side of my yoga mat. So from here, going through my checks, is my knee over top of my ankle? Is my leg straight? Is my torso on top of my pelvis? Are my shoulder blades down my back? Goalpost arms, palms up, straighten them out, turn the palms down. Is my head back over top of my shoulders? Am I looking towards the middle finger of my left hand? All right. See where you're at. And then we're going to cartwheel the arms forward and plant them on either side of the left foot. We're going to lift that left foot up and bring it back to meet the right. And then we're going to shift our bodies forward into a plank position. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. And then knees come down. Bend the elbows. They come alongside of your rib cage. And then lift up, using the muscles of your low back. And then come down or come back up with your knees and your hands. And then you're going to lift the knees up off of the yoga mat. Lift the buns towards the ceiling. And then once again, we're going to walk to the front edge of the yoga mat. On an inhale, bring yourself all the way up. Nice tight tummy as you come up. Okay, we're going to get into a posture called tree next. I'm just going to face you so you can see what I'm doing. And what we're going to do here is basically balancing on one foot. So plant your weight into your left foot. Then bring the heel of your right foot up off the ground. If this is fine, place your heel on your leg. If this is fine, maybe bring it up to your calf. This might be a good place for you to start with today, but the full expression of the pose, if you'd like to give it a try, you bring your foot all the way up to the inner thigh. It's very important that you do not put your foot against your knee. Okay, so now we're pressing the inner thigh against the foot to kind of give us a little bit of strength in this pose here. And we can keep our hands on our hips. We can put them at heart center in prayer, or you can extend them all the way up towards the ceiling. Whatever feels right and challenging for you. And lift your toes real quick, and then gently place them back down. We don't want to grip through our toes at any time during yoga, so if you catch yourself doing that, just kind of do that quick little check of lifting the toes and then gently lowering back down. See how things are feeling through here. A little sway there. Gripping the toes, lifting up, pressing evenly from my thigh and then my foot. Lengthening my spine, lifting my crown of my head towards the ceiling. Sometimes it helps if you find a spot on the floor or wall in front of you, maybe 6 feet away, 6 to 8 feet away. And if you just stare at it, sometimes that helps keep balance. And then when you're ready, let's go ahead and get rid of that, shake it out a little bit. And then we'll plant our weight on the right foot. See if we can lift the right heel, no problem. Maybe bring it to the calf. If this is where you are, that's fine, that's great. And if you want to take it a little bit deeper, go ahead and bring that left foot to meet the right inner thigh, and then press them together. Oh, no gripping. Lift up your toes, and then gently place them back down. Hands on hips, or at prayer, or all the way up. If your arms are all the way up, I just encourage you to remember to bring your rib cage down, like just knit your ribs together so that you're not extending your back. Lift your toes and gently place them back down. Find your spot to stare at something. Think about your breath. What do you notice? All right, and then when you're ready, go ahead and bring that all the way down. We're going to come onto our backs next. So however you want to get there, let's come all the way down And we're going to do a little twist. So straighten out your left leg and put your right foot on top of your thigh. Arms come out, and then just let the right knee come towards the left side of your yoga mat. See if you can keep your shoulder blades on the ground and turn your head to the right. Sometimes we get a little bit further with a little bit more time, a little more breath, and a little more attention. But the goal isn't necessarily to move further, it's to listen to your body. All right, let's bring this one up and switch sides. Totally normal also for one side to be a little bit more flexible than the other. Just depends on what you do in your day-to-day life, how you use your body. This little twist should feel really good at the end of a little yoga practice. And then coming back up. Let's spend a few minutes with our legs all the way out, palms up. One big deep breath in and out. Notice any sensations in your body and just take this moment to take stock. What's going on in there? Notice where you're breathing. Has it changed since the beginning of our practice? Be mindful of any judgments that may come to your mind, and just as quickly and simply as they come, just dismiss them just as easily. Let's roll onto our sides and then push up into sitting. You can come into any sitting position as comfortable for you. I'm choosing a cross-legged seat. And then we'll bring our hands to heart center. Let's think about 3 things that you are grateful for today, 3 blessings in your life. Notice how your body feels when you think about these 3 things, and let it fill your body. And let's let go of those 3 things, those blessings. And just be neutral. Thank you for taking the time to practice with me today. Until next time, namaste.